Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Denis and welcome back to the Air Survival video. And today we will be looking for some sort of instant teleportation thing or what is it, mechanics. And this is actually introduced in the Easter event. By the point this video is out, I believe the Easter event should have ended. And yeah, well, unless the developers extend the time. However, when I'm recording this, we still have 4 days left, and I honestly at this point just kind of give up. I don't really feel like doing a lot of this grinding, and yeah, it's a little bit too much for me honestly. Yeah, the amount of golden paints that you need, or the golden eggs for the golden eggs, it's just a little bit too much. And it's kind of rare as well to get those. It's not a guaranteed, so I feel like it's I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Unless you really grind the game every day, I don't think you will be able to um finish the entire quest. So yeah, but anyway, it's for another day for us to discuss. Obviously, this is just the first the first Easter event. Well, not really the first, but more like an improvement from the previous year. So there is some improvement, but also there is some things that still need to be improved as well. So yeah, again, this is gonna be for another topic to discuss. But today we'll actually talk about these two things over here. First, we have bunny treat, and then the second one we have private bunny den. So first, what are these things, right? The first we have private bunny den. Nobody knows how deep the den goes, but if you crawl inside, you could crawl out miles away from here. So yeah, this is what I, you know, mentioned about instant teleportation. This is basically a way for you to teleport to far away. However, there is some limitations, some restrictions that I will mention about this, later on as well. And then we have this bunny treat, which is Easter bunny's favorite treat. Okay, you can eat this directly, 10 food, 10 water, but I don't really I don't really, recommend for you to do this because this is kind of rare as well. You cannot really get this infinitely. I mean, technically you can, but it's just, it's just too much, right? So, yeah, there's that. And what is this? Also, how do you get this private penny? Then, in the first place, one, you go to this penny trade, and then there is this over here. You will need five of this penny trade, and then it will create you a private penny den over here. Yeah, you just create like this. And then you will spawn yourself this thing over here. You cannot pick this up, by the way. So it's like a house kinda, but this thing is actually will teleport you to other place. And you can also disassemble this into pickled vegetables, which I don't know what it does. It doesn't actually disassemble to penetrate, unfortunately, which means that this is a one way. If you craft penetrate into penetrate, you will not be able to reverse it into the penetrate. So make sure that you place this in the location you will need to, you will you like basically, or near your base. So yeah. Um, so what does it do? What does it do? First, if you go here, if you press the button use, there is this thing over here. There is a text box that will show up. Upon approaching the bunny den, I heard a voice in my head. Greetings, wanderer. I see you're headed on a journey. Okay, where can I go? No, maybe later. If you press the okay, where can I go? The voice was silent for a few seconds and then continued. There are a few towns we can towns. I mean, there are a few towns we can currently access. Which will you choose? And then you will have eight options. Seven of them is the towns or the location that you can teleport to, and then the eighth one or the first one will be none of them. Maybe later. It's just to live basically, so that you are not forced to do the teleportation. And then there is this seven location. I will probably mention about where this location is, although I'm not really sure as well. Unfortunately, um, because the problem with this is that it is not pinned in the world map unless you're actually Russian who knows the Russian map. then you will not be able to know where the location is. Well, for things like Norilsk over here, it's actually there's location for that, I think, in the map. Let's see here, where is Norilsk? I think we have these. Yeah, over here. There is one over here. So this is the Norilsk, or the first one. And then the second one we have, let's see here. Yeah, this one, Snezhny Gorsk. Unfortunately, this is not shown in the map, and you cannot really see this where exactly this is. And this is very bad, right? Like I said, if you're not Russian who knows Russian map, then you will not be you will never know where this goes. And yeah, that is bad. That is actually one thing that I dislike, that it doesn't really show the location. It's better if once you open this text box over here, like this, if you use this, it will like prompt you to the world map, and then it will show you the location. Now, if that is the case, then that'll be very, very great, right? You just pick the location. Like if you press that button, you will go to this world map, like maybe a mini version, I don't know. And then, if you scroll, then you will have like maybe a portal over here or something, and then you can press, and then you will go to that way, and then, that way we can know where the location is. But because like this, like some of them we don't know where the location is. There's actually some around over here, I think. And then there is one over here, I think, in Kandika. And then I believe there is also one nearby this location, which again very bad because it's not really mentioned over there. So yeah, um, which is, it's probably gonna be a feedback for the developers for the next year, for the Easter event next year, hopefully. So yeah, and then we have this Snes Necros, which again it doesn't mention where. Kandika I already mentioned. It is actually to the northeast of the location. Also, by the way, if you want to go here, as you can see, it requires penetrate as well. So not only you need penetrate to get yourself the private bunny den in the first place, to teleport to these locations, you will also need penetrate as well. Now, unfortunately, I already used mine. I didn't know that when you teleport, you actually will require it will require you penetrate. So I kind of wasted my teleportation. I went to where is it? I think I went to. Honestly, I have no idea where I went, but yeah, one of these, like this Novi Urengoi over here. It's not mentioned in the map where the location is. In this one, Silic Heart, it also doesn't mention. Um, the Tbilisi over here, it also doesn't mention, and apparently it requires 17, which I will only assume that it's gonna be a far away. And there's this Vilnius over here, 17 penetrate as well, as you can see. Like it requires different amount of penetrate. I think it's because of the travel or the distance. I think like the longer the distance, it might actually need more. Although I have no idea though, because Kandika is apparently the furthest, I think, and it only requires 7 more. Or I have 3, so it requires 10 basically. Which again, if you take a look at the world map, this one is over here, which is very far, right? But why is that this one only require 10 while maybe the other location require less? I have no idea, literally. So yeah, um, again, I have no idea why they make it that way, which is again, one of the things that I dislike. I think what's going on here is that the developers try to introduce the way of teleportation so that we don't really, have to rely on this conductor over here. Yes, over here, this is only exclusive for Chelyabinsk to Irkutsk, right? But what happens if we want to travel to other locations, for example? Now, I think that is the idea of the developers, is that they are trying to, um, trying to introduce these mechanics of teleportation, instant teleportation. Of course, it's not gonna be free. In this case, we need penetrate, but yeah, it's actually very difficult to get these penetrate. I think you need to finish this one, the easier one. If you finish this quest, you will get some of these, and I think if you exchange the basket, this basket to the Mr. Bunny NPC, I think you might actually be able to get some, bunny treat as well if you're lucky. Although again, I'm not sure, so do not quote me on that. But I only imagine you can get that from there. Otherwise, it's gonna be, very limited, right? If you can only get these from the quest. So yeah, but yeah, there's that. Like literally, that is the only thing about this. Also, by the way, to make the private bunny den, you can craft that anywhere. However, the location, the destination that you will go, is always fixed to this seven location. So by that I mean that if you have, for example, if you have private bunny den over here near Chelyabinsk, and then you create another one in Yuva, for example, I did get one over here as well. You cannot go through the den to Yufa. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work like that. Basically, just because you have private bandit den over here as well, and then you are over here also have one, doesn't mean you can go to that location. Again, like I said, the location is actually fixed to the seven locations, which is again, like I said, it's around here somewhere. It's around here somewhere, around here, and there is also some, I think, about over here or something. I don't know, but yeah, there is only seven. So yeah, um, you can, basically you can go from anywhere, but your target destination is only fixed. You cannot go anywhere basically. So yeah, also this is a one-way trip as well, which means that once you go in, you cannot go back from the point where you go out. You'll actually be dropped at the middle of the city, of this location over here. Like for example, if you want to go to Norilsk, then you will be dropped at the center of the town, and that's it. There is not really any den over there as well. You cannot go back to this location. Now this is actually very very bad because what happen if you don't prepare, like you go far away from your base and then you got stuck there, like because you have no fuel, you have no, maybe you have no proper vehicle, maybe you forgot to repair your vehicle, and then you're actually messed up there because you cannot go back from this location. It's a one-way trip, so be careful with that. um, Again, you need to travel back. You cannot just travel back using this. There is no private den in your target destination, so yeah, it's just like that. So yeah, but anyway, I think that's all for this concept of instant teleportation, which I understand. Again, I understand the developers try to introduce these, but they kind of want to, well, I guess I think what's happening is that they kind of make it a little bit careful because they don't want this thing to be overpowered, and so that people can go anywhere with easy thing. They don't want that to happen because it might actually be overpowered, and then the players can exploit that. So instead of nerfing, I think what's gonna happen here is that they will maybe take this concept and they will improve this, maybe buff this in outside the Easter event, maybe in the EMBA project, I have no idea. And then they make it better, like with easier or cheaper cost, and then maybe they will make it to trip, for example. So yeah, but for now, I would say I would rate this on the scale of 1 to 10. I would scale this at maybe 3. It's just for the idea, for the creativity that they try to introduce this thing. But yeah, but by reality, I feel like I don't think people will actually use this. So yeah, it's just to introduce the concept, which I appreciate. That's why I give the score of 3. But for effectiveness, I would say it's very ineffective at the moment. That's why I reduced 7 from the 10 scale. So yeah, but anyway, I think that is for this one. Private Bunny Den, Bunny Trade. Let me know if you know more about this, or if I missed something. But yeah, for now, I would say it's not worth it. it's worth the idea, the introduction to the concept, but realistically speaking, it's not effective in any way possible. So yeah, but anyway, I think that's for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay healthy. I will see you again a few days from now in the next Day Art Survival video. But until then, see ya.